Hey there. You can't see this because the screen's really blurry, but the trailer for Nobody Walks in LA is playing in the background right now. And it's pretty exciting because I came home tonight and just checked it like I do maybe once every couple days. And we have 900,000 views. Is that backwards? Should I turn it the other way? Does that help? Does that look like 900,000? Do I need to put a picture in here that says 900,000? We have 900,000 views.
New movie called Nobody Walks in LA, and this I have.
On my way to the Jim Jeffries show.
Can feel it in my head, can feel it in my legs and in my toes. Can feel it in my head, can feel it in my back and in my bones.
Thank you.
Can see it in your eyes, can see it in the way you look at me.
Cool. Thank you.
Can see
Thank
it
you.
in your smile.
The real theme of this week, and it's come up a few times in a few different conversations, and in my opinion, it's the most important thing in terms of the entertainment industry and in terms of any industry and in terms of life really, is relationships.
So I've known Jim for 7-8 years now. I produced his podcast called Talkin' Shit with Eddie Ift. And so when the show came up, I hit him up. I was like, man, I'd love to do warm-up for you. And so I'm really glad it worked out. We're here at Sunset Las Palmas Studios shooting. I'm editing this vlog right now, and I want to give a shout out to...
What's up, guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you for joining me. I'm so happy. Look where I am.
I was rolling around Hollywood Center Studios and naming off some different shows that were shot there. They shoot at midnight here. And I looked up on YouTube, and there is someone who actually created a whole video about the history of it.
This is the filming location for I Love Lucy Seasons 1 and 2.
And I want to pay proper respect to it, so...
You can see over here, I'll put it up in your video, kind of an outline. That was a previous entrance that was plastered over. Really, really interesting and really, really cool. For I Love Lucy, a lot of famous movies and TV shows were shot here, including Howard Hughes' Hell's Angels. The Marx Brothers shot Night in Casablanca here. Laurel and Hardy also recorded here along with Fred Astaire, Cary Grant. After I Love Lucy, the Beverly Hillbillies, Perry Mason, Addams Family, Get Smart, Petticoat Junction, and even When Harry Met Sally and Pee-wee's Playhouse. So many shows, so many amazing pieces of Hollywood history.
The stage that we're on, they actually shot The Cosby Show. And Jim has Bill Cosby's office. Kind of weird. Before the show. Quiet on their western front. How do you stay skinny in this place, man?
Can see it in your eyes, can see it in the way you look at me.
I think a lot of people are really turned off by the entertainment industry because a lot of people in this industry look at relationships transactionally. What can you do for me right now? Oh, you can't do anything for me right now? Peace, see you later. I don't care about you. You're not important.
Just finished Jim's show. Heading back out on the road.
It's fucked up. I think people should be turned off by that. There are other people in this industry as well who are genuinely good people and are interested in getting to know about you and don't look at you as a transaction, but are interested in a long-term relationship. And that's the thing. This business and life is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And if you treat people transactionally, you will be less successful than if you genuinely care and are interested in people. And because you never know who's going to be successful in what capacity. And so in general, to treat people well and to be nice to people and to see if you can help them is in your own self-interest. It really is. And I think a lot of people don't think that way. They think, oh, if you're not able to do something for me at this exact moment, then it's not in my self-interest to give a fuck about you. And I think that's a really short-sighted, not intelligent way to operate, not only in business, but in life.
So I'm on my way to Sarah Colonna's house.
I had a great conversation with Sarah Colonna for my podcast that will be coming out soon. Sarah Colonna is an amazing stand-up comedian. She's a New York Times bestselling author. I know her from Chelsea Lately. And she hustled for 10 years before she got her big break and was able to work full-time in the entertainment industry without having to bartend. And that big break came because of her relationship with Chelsea Handler. And so I'm going to play that for you right now, and I have some more thoughts about that as well.
So at the first year that she had that show, I wasn't on it, and I never asked her or anything, but she one time said to me, like, oh, I think they think that we're too similar, so that's why they haven't asked you on the round table yet. I just don't want you to you have your feelings hurt. And I was like, I don't expect you to put me on your show. Like, It's fine. And then eventually, like a year after the show was on, and they also had like bigger names then because they were trying to build the show.
Right.
And it wasn't 3 comics yet. It was like 1 comic, like a random, like a Scott Baio, and then like a Us Weekly person. It was like so the comics were obviously a little bit more well known. And then I think she kind of stepped in and was like, I want 3 comics, and I know a lot of funny people. So she definitely gave me that opportunity to be on it, I'm sure. I mean,
And I think like an interesting part of your story right there too, which I admire and like, is a lot of people, if their friend got a TV show and wasn't like immediately, hey, will you be on it? Hey, will you write for it? Hey, would have been like, fuck that,
Right,
like,
yeah.
And like that happens a lot in this business where people, for whatever reason, like people have their reasons, and like, again, like relationships are really important, and like the fact that you handle that in a very chill way, and we're just like, I understand. Like a lot of times, like even though the person's a host, they're still beholden to like executives and other people.
Yeah, they don't. It's like when you get your own show, you don't all of a sudden get to like just call all the shots.
Right.
I mean, she did 8 years later or whatever.
When you're a star coming into it, you have more juice. But when you're like just
why Jews? Why did I have so many Jews?
Yes, you have more Jews when you're a star. You definitely have more Jews. You have your agent. You have your but yeah, I mean, like, but I think that's something that like a lot of people make mistakes in blowing off relationships when it's like, I think you got to put yourself in other people's shoes and have like a lot of empathy for others who might be getting success. It's like, if you do tell them to go fuck themselves, that might be an opportunity that you blow.
Where something I know could happen. People did that to her.
Yeah.
And they never got to be on the show.
Right. So I mean, like, I think taking that in stride is a really important lesson. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but like.
No, it was cool. So she, they asked me to do the round table, and I was super excited. And I was probably even more nervous doing that than anything else because I also didn't want to let my friend down. Right. I didn't want to suck on her round table. Right. And I knew that if I did suck, I'd never be invited again because I knew now that's how the show kind of went. And luckily it went really well, and I became a regular. And luckily all the other stigma of us, like we obviously, the cool thing about that round table is you definitely got to show your own personality.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I was doing the round table for a year, still bartending. Because they only paid you $300, which was plenty of money for the time you were there, but it's not.
So now people are coming into.
Oh, now they're watching Chelsea Lately.
And they're like, I saw you on Scare Tactics. I see you on Chelsea Lately. What are you doing serving me drinks?
Yeah, one Jack and Coke, fucking ticket, and still tip me because I'm not making that much money. And then about a year after that was when they asked me to stick around after the show, and then they offered me a writing job. I went to my boss at Formosa, where I was still bartending, and I was like, hey, listen, I got a writing job on Chelsea Lately, so I'm just gonna have to cut down to working weekends here. And he was like, no, you're gonna quit. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna quit, because what if that job goes away? Like, I need my weekends. It's like, I know how much money I make on the weekends. And he was like, Sarah, you're gonna have a 9 to 5 writing job, or 9 to 7 or whatever, and you're gonna come here on the weekends. And he's like, this is it. Like, cut the fucking cord. You got a full-time job. That's awesome. In the industry. And I was like, but can I keep my weekends? Like, I was so afraid to let go of like what I relied on, like the only thing that I knew that was steady.
And this is 2009 and 2010, so this is like 13 years after you kind of come to LA. Yeah. It's the first full-time gig.
First full-time gig, yeah.
Happy ending, yeah. Woo!
I've seen so many people burn bridges where something doesn't go their way or they don't like a certain situation, and as opposed to removing themselves from that situation in a decent way, they blow up and they're like, fuck you, I hate you, fuck you, I'm out, you're a shithead, blah, 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 and they blow up that relationship. And in general, I think that's a really, really, really poor decision. And I think people also equate the idea of being nice with the idea of being a pushover. And I think that's a real mistake. You can be nice and nicely remove yourself from a situation and tell people at the same time that you're genuinely not happy with how things are progressing, and so you'd rather remove yourself from the situation. And you don't have to yell about it. You don't have to get crazy about it. And from my experience, people will respect you more in the long run if you handle yourself that way. I've done that a number of times where I just said, look, we both gave it a shot. It's not working out. I appreciate the effort, but I'm feeling this way, and I don't want to continue feeling this way, so I think it's best if we just cut our losses now and go different directions. But let's keep in touch, and I wish you the best. So as opposed to burning a bridge, you're kind of creating a stronger one for the future, because you're saying, hey, we gave it a shot this time. This wasn't working for me. If it's not working for you, it's probably not working for them either. They're probably not happy in the situation either. So it's better to be able to walk away in a respectful fashion than to just start name calling and being rude to people. I'm going to be saying this a lot more in more videos because I think it's really important. I think people are very short-sighted about this issue. Again, it's a marathon. It is not a sprint. You're going to be talking to these people for the next 20, 30 years if they're in the business and you're in the business. It's not worth it to just blow stuff up. That's my 2 cents on relationships.